What's going on YouTube? It's your guy Darren, your bow tie fragrance guy. On this channel we talk about fragrances and we talk about fashion as well. So if you love to smell great and look good as well, then you found the right channel. I recommend you go ahead and click the subscribe button. You might as well, and take another second to go ahead and hit the bell icon to ensure you get notified when I upload new content on the channel. So guys, on today's video we're going to be talking about some cheap, inexpensive fragrances that get compliments. That's right. I don't know why, but some people act, crazy about this topic of fragrances getting compliments. I mean, we know it's a virtual certainty. I mean, you wear fragrances, more than likely at some point you're going to get compliments. I mean, it just is what it is. Now, I personally love fragrances just because I love fragrances. I could go the rest of my life and never receive a compliment and I'm still going to enjoy wearing fragrances. So that's not why I wear fragrances, but as I always say, it does not hurt one bit when someone does pay me a compliment in reference to the fragrance that I'm wearing. So it's cool to receive compliments. Again, it's not why I wear fragrances, but it is nice when I do receive compliments. So with that being said, that's what we're going to be tackling today. I have 10 fragrances on my on the list today, and they're all pretty much, you can find all of them under that $50 price point. I think that's where I always try to start when I say cheap or inexpensive fragrances. So all the fragrances on this list under 50 bucks, and from my experience, or with my experience wearing these fragrances, they are pretty high complimented or highly complimented fragrances. So that's what we're going to be covering today. So if you want to see what made the list, you know the routine, man. You've been rocking with me for a while. Keep it locked right here. All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to jump into the list really quick. I do want to say I did go do some fragrance shopping this weekend, and I went to the Neiman Marcus, or the South Park Mall in Charlotte, North Carolina, South Park Mall, and did some shopping at the Neiman Marcus. It's starting to be a regular occurrence, guys. When I go out to different places, I seem to run into a few of my subscribers. So I want to send a quick shout out to Coda. I think his name was Coda, as well as D. He just introduced himself as D, but I saw him in Neiman Marcus shopping for fragrances, and I want to send both of those gentlemen a shout out. I thank you for your continued support of the channel. This is what something else I want to say quickly, guys. I really appreciate when I see guys, people out that are supporters of the channel, not from the standpoint of being famous or anything like that, but I just love to see. I love the fact that typically when I see or meet these folks, they are actually out shopping and buying fragrances and exploring new fragrances, and a lot of them based on my recommendations. So it's a good feeling when you get to see folks in person that actually support the channel. So shout out to D as well as Coda. I hope you guys were able to pick up some nice fragrances on the other day. So guys, now that I've said that, really quickly, the fragrances I picked up, the fragrance that I picked up was this one, man, from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. It's called Acqu Universalis Cologne Forte. Now this is kind of a new fragrance. There's 3 fragrances that were released in this new lineup from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and for me, this was my favorite of the 3. One is in a blue bottle, one is kind of in a yellowish gold bottle, and this one is like a very just clear bottle, and I love this one. It smells super ultra clean, and there is never a bad time to smell ultra clean. I just quickly look at some of the commentary on this fragrance, and a lot of people don't seem to like it. I don't know why, to each his own. Again, it's just a very clean fragrance, and it's hard, in my opinion, to dislike that. But anyway, I am going to enjoy this fragrance because I can wear this any place, anytime, anywhere, and it gets compliments. Don't be fooled by the cologne in the name, because it's an EDP, and I sprayed this on my skin yesterday while out shopping earlier in the day, and it was still on my skin late last night, so it does perform pretty good. But I'll be coming back and doing a full review on that soon. I actually had gone into the store because this one had been on my radar for a while, the Masculine Pluriel. which is another really nice scent from Maison Francis Kurkdjian that I love. And the sales associate was nice enough to give me a sample, 2 samples of this. So I will be wearing these samples, but that will probably be my next purchase from MFK Masculine Pluriel because I really, really love it. It's kind of got a fougere quality to it. There's some lavender absolute in this, and I love that scent. So anyway, did some shopping yesterday. That's what I picked up. But let's jump into these top 10 fragrances, shall we? All right, guys, the first fragrance up on this list comes from the house of John Barbados, and this is John Barbados Nick Jonas X. Now, I'm not sure what some of the differences are, but there are several of these. One is in a silver bottle, one is in a kind of crimson colored bottle, and this is the one in the blue bottle. But to me, this was my favorite of the bunch. I'm gonna take this tag off because that drives me crazy. But man, listen, this is a very, very highly complimented scent. I don't wear it a whole lot, but the times that I have worn it, this thing gets compliments. It has sandalwood in this, mandarin orange, I want to say as well. It's a little bit spicy in the heart. I think maybe some black pepper or something like that. But guys, if you see this, I've seen it a lot in the rack stores. If compliments is something that you're into, this is one that has gotten me some pretty nice compliments. So check this one out from the house of John Barbados. This is Nick Jonas X, I think maybe, and this in the blue bottle. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, man, this thing is a compliment machine because it's really, really sweet and fruity. And this one comes from the house of Mont Blanc, and this is Mont Blanc Emblem Intense. Emblem Intense. Now, the original Mont Blanc Emblem came in a black bottle presentation just like this. But man, this one right here is going to pull in the compliments. It has notes in it. Cinnamon is a note that I really pick up that's very prominent in this fragrance. Tonka bean is in this as well. I think there's apple. So again, you get a cinnamon, a really fruity fragrance with a nice sweet dry down. There's some tonka beans, some suede on the base as well. Really, really warm and sweet with that cinnamon. And again, that apple in here, man. Check this one out if you've never put your nose on it again. It gets a lot of compliments from the house of Mont Blanc. This is Mont Blanc Emblem Intense. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this one comes from the house of Sean John, and this is Sean John, I Am King. Sean John, I Am King. Now, of course, I love Unforgivable by Sean John, but this one is a very close second from all of the Sean John fragrances that were released. Has a very unique note of cranberry in this scent, and it's something that really, really stands out. But again, it's one of those nice, fruity, playful scents that's going to get you some compliments. So guys, if you can find this one, pick it up from the Sean John collection. This one is called I Am King. All right, the next fragrance on the list, this one comes from the house of Dunhill. We've been seeing a lot of Dunhill fragrances on my channel as of late, but this one is even better than Dunhill Desire Red. This is Dunhill Desire Blue. Dunhill Desire Blue, and even more so than the red, this fragrance really closely resembles Lafayette Street from Bond Number 9. And you guys know how much I love that fragrance. So if you don't want to spend the money for a fragrance like Lafayette Street, this is a great alternative. And just like Lafayette Street, this thing is going to get you some compliments. So check it out from the house of Dunhill. Again, this is called Dunhill Desire Blue. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this is turned into one of the iconic fragrances when you talk about inexpensive fragrances from the house of Lacoste. This is from the L1212 line, and this is Lacoste White or Lacoste Blanc. Some people refer to it as that, but it's the one in the white bottle. And man, this is a beautiful, inexpensive scent. You get a nice cedar wood in this. There's some eucalyptus. I think there's some lime in this as well, and some white florals. But I absolutely adore this fragrance. It's so easy to wear in the spring and summertime. And again, especially within that first 2 hours of applying this stuff, you're gonna get some compliments if you get in close contact with somebody. But you know, again, a lot of people have talked about this. I'm sure you've heard about it by now. But on a list like this, it is very appropriate to have this on it. So check this one out from the house of Lacoste from the L1212 line. Once again, this is called Lacoste White or Blanc. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this thing gets a ton of compliments when I wear it. And this is from the house of Paco Rabanne, and this is Invictus Aqua. This is the 2018 version of that fragrance. Now, of course, a lot of people make a big deal out of the 2016 version, which was good, but I think a lot of that commentary comes because that fragrance is actually discontinued in that particular version. But when they released this one in 2018, for me personally, I was not disappointed. Now, of course, like most of the Invictus flankers, it's very, very loud, kind of mass appealing, in your face kind of scent. Follows that typical blue DNA. You have some ambergris in here, some amberwood, grapefruit. There's kind of this sea accord, aquatic accord in this as well. But man, listen, just know this, it gets compliments. So pick this one up. Even, of course, if you can't get the 2016 version, which is fetching a high penny or a high cost for that one, check this one out because it's just as good in my opinion. And again, this is Invictus Acqu 2018. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list, guys, listen, compliment machine, man. This is from the house of Abercrombie & Fitch, and this is First Instinct Blue. First Instinct Blue, man, and this has the structure of a fragrance that, of course, I think this was designed with compliments in mind because you get a nice citrusy opening. There's a combination of bergamot in this. I think there's an apple. I picked the apple up very, very prominent in the opening of this fragrance. And there's a little bit of a sweet, spicy kick that comes into the when this fragrance starts to dry down a little bit from cardamom. But the stars of the show, and typically when you find fragrances that are highly compliment, you're going to see these notes associated with it: amber, tonka bean, and sandalwood, as this thing dries down with a little bit of a fougere kick from lavender that peeks his head into this thing. But man, inexpensive, doesn't cost a lot, will get you a lot of compliments. So check this one out. As a matter of fact, anyone from that First Instinct line of Abercrombie & Fitch really gets nice compliments. So, but this one is called First Instinct Blue, so check this one out. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list, you're going to hear a lot of fragrance heads refer to this fragrance as synthetic, blah, 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 blah. But the one thing that they seem to leave out is the fact that it's highly complimented, and that's this fragrance right here, and it's called Thallium. Thallium. This is my second or third bottle of this stuff. I ran through the first one. This is just something, man, that's going to get compliments. I like to wear this fragrance to the gym, honestly. Again, it's sweet. I guess you could say it is synthetic, but at the end of the day, it's one that people are going to compliment and inquire about. So this thing right here, you can find it for around that $15 to $19 price point. So just pick this up, guys. If you see it, it can be something that you know, again, just keep in your gym bag or wherever the case may be, but it will get you positive attention from the house of, I can't remember what the name of it, but the name of the fragrance is Thallium. So check this one out. All right, guys, we got two more fragrances left, and I saved two of the best for last, in my opinion. This one comes from the house of Bulgari, and this is Acqu Atlantique. Acqu Atlantique. So, man, listen, imagine Dylan Blue with a nice kind of sea, salty, aquatic vibe in the heart of it. And that's what you get in this bottle right here. Listen, Dylan Blue is a fragrance that could have easily been on this list. It's a highly complimented fragrance. But what I love about this one, again, is that nice kind of sea, salty, aquatic vibe that they added to that kind of, you know, Dylan Blue kind of DNA. And that's what you get in this bottle, made for compliments. So check this one out from the house of Bulgari. This is Acqu Atlantique. All right, guys, and last but not least on this list today, this fragrance, as a matter of fact, I didn't even realize this. We're going back to the house of Bulgari, and this is called Bulgari Blue. Bulgari Blue. In my early stages of collecting fragrances, when I was in college, this was one of my go-to fragrances. I kept a bottle of this in my collection, and as you can see, as of today, I still have this in my collection. Having as many fragrances as I have, I don't wear it as much, of course, but this was one of my go-to scents, man. One of my signature scents for a long time. It is beautiful. It's a nice floral, powdery fragrance from Bulgari. It's very, very powdery, but it's really, really fresh and clean at the same time. And as I said before, you can never find a bad time to smell fresh and clean. But this one used to get me a ton of compliments. And most recently when I wore it, it was still yielding and filling me compliments as well. So it's one, when I talk about highly complimented fragrances that are inexpensive, I gotta mention this fragrance from the house of Bulgari. It's called Bulgari Blue. All right, guys, that's it. That's my time, man. I hope you enjoyed this video today as I gave you 10 highly complimented fragrances that are inexpensive. As always, I appreciate your time and attention to these videos because, of course, it could have been anywhere else in the world, but you took a few moments to watch this video. I don't take that for granted, man. I sincerely appreciate it. Now don't forget to take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe, and go ahead and share these videos out to folks that you think could use this information or find me entertaining, because I'm your guy, Darren, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.